Welcome back to our channel Historic Coin Treasures, where we uncover hidden coin rare discoveries and the real stories behind historic currency. If you love history, treasure, and the possibility of life-changing finds, subscribe now and let's discover the next hidden fortune together. Top 1. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1990 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel, and uncovering the hidden secrets that make certain pieces incredibly valuable. Stay with me till the end, because what you are about to learn might completely change the way you look at your loose change forever. History and DSIGN. The 1995 cent coin features the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front. This design has been a staple of American coinage since 1938. On the reverse side, you'll find Monticello, Jefferson's historic home. At first glance, there is nothing extraordinary about this coin. Millions were produced and most are still circulating today. But here's where things get interesting. Even though the 1990 nickel was minted in large numbers, certain variations, minting errors, and condition grades can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's treasure. Mint marks and purity. Coin in 1990, these nickels were produced at two major mints, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia typically have no mint mark, while Denver coins carry a small D mint mark. While both types are common, collectors pay close attention to details like strike quality, luster, and surface condition. A perfectly preserved coin is already more valuable than a worn one. But rarity doesn't just come from condition. It comes from mistakes. Rare errors that make the 1990 nickel. Let's talk about the real reason collectors get excited. Minting errors. One of the most sought-after errors is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing. The more dramatic the off-center error, the higher the value. Another rare error is the double die. This occurs when the design is stamped more than once but slightly misaligned, creating a shadow-like doubling effect on letters or numbers. If you look closely at the date or inscriptions and notice doubling, you might be holding something special. Then there are clipped planchets. These coins have a portion missing from the edge due to a cutting error during production. It might look damaged, but for collectors it's a sign of rarity. Die cracks and die breaks are also highly collectible. These appear as raised lines or irregular shapes on the coin's surface, caused by damaged minting dies. And don't forget about full steps nickels. On the reverse side, Monticello has steps at its base. If all the steps are clearly visible and fully struck, the coin is considered a full steps example. These are extremely desirable and significantly more valuable. Condition and jure danji. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A heavily circulated 1990 nickel might only be worth its face value. But a coin in mint state condition, meaning it has never been used in circulation and shows no wear, can command a much higher price. Coins are graded on a scale, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. A pristine coin with sharp details, original luster, and no scratches is what collectors dream of. Why collectors love this? The 1995 cent coin represents a perfect combination of accessibility and hidden potential. It's not an ancient coin or made of precious metal, yet it carries the thrill of discovery. Collectors love searching through rolls of nickels, hoping to find that one rare error or high-grade specimen. It's like a treasure hunt where the prize could be sitting in your pocket right now. And the best part? Anyone can start looking. How to check your son? Take a close look at your 1990 nickel. Check the mint mark. Examine the surface under good lighting. Look for unusual features like doubling, missing parts, or strange lines. Pay special attention to the steps on Monticello. Are they sharp and complete? If yes, you might have something valuable. Using a magnifying glass can make a huge difference. Small details can turn an ordinary coin into a rare find. Final thoughts and value. So what is a 1995 cent coin really worth? In circulated condition, it is typically worth just 5 cents. In uncirculated mint state condition, it can be worth a few dollars to around $20 depending on quality. High-grade full steps examples can reach values of $100 to several $100s. Rare error coins such as off-center strikes, double dies, or major minting mistakes have been known to sell for several $100s and in exceptional cases even over $1,000 at auction. Top 2. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and underrated coins in circulation history. The 1992 United States 5-cent coin, widely known as the Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it may look like just another everyday coin, something you might ignore in your pocket or wallet. But what if I told you that some of these 1992 nickels are worth far more than 5 cents? In some cases, hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Stay with me till the end, because what you're about to discover could completely change the way you look at your spare change. The 1992 5-cent coin features the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front, a design that has been a part of American coinage since 1938. On the reverse side, you'll find Monticello, Jefferson's historic home. While millions of these coins were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, not all 1992 nickels are created equal. In fact, a small number of them carry rare errors and unique characteristics that make them extremely valuable to collectors. Now let's talk about what makes this coin so special. Point one of the most exciting aspects of the 1992 nickel is the possibility of mint errors. These errors occur during the production process at the mint, and they can dramatically increase a coin's value. Collectors are always searching for these rare mistakes because they are limited in number and often impossible to reproduce. Point one of the most famous errors found in 1992 nickels is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck more than once by the die, slightly misaligned, creating a visible doubling effect on the design. If you look closely at the lettering, especially around the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty," you may notice a shadow-like duplication. This is not damage, it is a minting error, and it can significantly raise the coin's worth. Another valuable error to watch for is the off-center strike. In this case, the coin is not properly aligned during minting, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some collectors pay a premium for coins that are 10%, 20%, or even 50% off-center. Then we have the clipped planchet error. This occurs when a portion of the coin blank is missing before the coin is struck, resulting in a curved or straight clip along the edge. These coins are visually unique and highly collectible. But that's not all. There are also rare transitional errors associated with early 1990s coins. Around this time, the United States Mint was making subtle changes to coin designs and compositions. In some rare cases, coins were struck using dies or planchets intended for different years or types. These transitional mistakes can create extremely rare varieties that collectors are willing to pay a fortune for. Condition is another crucial factor that determines the value of a 1992 nickel. Coins that have never been circulated, known as mint state coins, are far more valuable than those that have been used in everyday transactions. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on their condition, assigning grades that range from poor to perfect mint state. A 1992 nickel in pristine condition with sharp details, no scratches, and full luster can command a much higher price. Now imagine this: somewhere out there in a jar, a drawer, or even your own pocket, there could be a 1992 nickel with one of these rare errors or in near-perfect condition. Most people would spend it without a second thought, but a true collector knows better. They look closely. They inspect every detail, because sometimes the smallest difference can mean the biggest reward. Collectors also pay attention to mint marks. The 1992 nickel was produced in Philadelphia and Denver, with Denver coins marked by a small D on the front. While both versions are common, certain error coins from specific mints can be more valuable than others. Another interesting detail is the strike quality. Some 1992 nickels have weak strikes, while others show exceptionally sharp details, especially on Monticello. A fully struck Monticello with clear steps is highly desirable among collectors and can significantly increase the coin's value. So how do you check if your 1992 nickel is valuable? Start by examining the coin under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass if possible. Look for doubling in the text, unusual shapes, missing parts of the design, or anything that seems out of the ordinary. Check the edges for clips or irregularities. Pay attention to the overall condition. The shinier and cleaner the coin, the better. And most importantly, don't rush. Take your time. The thrill of coin collecting is not just about money. It's about discovery. It's about finding something rare in a place where no one else thought to look. Now let's talk about value, the moment you've been waiting for. A regular 1992 5-cent coin in circulated condition is typically worth around 5 cents to $1 depending on condition. A high-grade uncirculated 1992 nickel can be worth between $5 to $50. Error coins such as double die or off-center strikes can range from $100 to several $1,000s depending on rarity and condition. Top 3. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in modern American history. The 1996 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it looks completely normal. You see the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front, calm and composed, and on the back, the iconic Monticello building standing proudly. Nothing unusual, nothing flashy. But that's exactly what makes this coin so interesting, because in the world of coin collecting, the biggest treasures often hide in plain sight. Now let's go back to 1996. The United States Mint produced millions of these nickels that year. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint and Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions combined. So you might be thinking, how can something so common ever become valuable? Here's where things get exciting. Even in massive production years, small variations, minting mistakes, and condition differences can turn an ordinary coin into something collectors dream about. And the 1996 nickel is no exception. First, let's talk about mint marks. If you look closely at your coin, just to the right of Jefferson's portrait, you might see a small letter. If there's no letter, it was minted in Philadelphia. If you see a D, it came from Denver. Most people never notice this tiny detail, but collectors always do. While both versions are common, condition plays a huge role in value. Coins that were never circulated, meaning they were never used in everyday transactions, can look almost perfect even decades later. These are known as mint state coins. And for the 1996 nickel, high-grade mint state examples are where things start getting interesting. But condition alone is not the whole story. Now let's talk about errors, the true hidden treasures. Minting errors are like accidents during the coin-making process. They are rare, unpredictable, and incredibly exciting for collectors. In 1996 nickels, some of the most sought-after errors include off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned. Imagine the coin looking slightly shifted with part of the design missing. That's not damage, that's a mint error. Then there are double strikes. This happens when the coin is struck more than once by the minting machine, creating a slightly overlapping or blurred image. It can look almost like a shadow effect, and to a trained eye, it's a sign of rarity. Another fascinating error is the die crack or die break. Over time, the metal dies used to stamp coins can develop tiny cracks. When this happens, those cracks transfer onto the coin itself, creating raised lines or unusual marks. Some collectors love these because each one is unique, like a fingerprint. And let's not forget about the rare possibility of wrong planchet errors. This is when a nickel is accidentally struck on a blank meant for a different coin. These are extremely rare and highly valuable when discovered. Now here's the part that makes this coin truly exciting for collectors, the hunt. Somewhere out there, in old coin jars, forgotten drawers, or even in circulation, there could still be 1996 nickels with these rare features waiting to be discovered. That's what makes coin collecting so addictive. The idea that treasure could be hiding in everyday places. But let's talk about something very important, grading. Professional coin grading services examine coins and assign them a grade based on their condition. A higher grade means fewer imperfections, sharper details, and better overall appearance. For 1996 nickels, coins graded at the very top levels are extremely hard to find. These are the ones that can command serious attention from collectors. Now imagine this: two coins from the same year, same design, same metal, but one is worn from years of use, while the other looks like it was just made yesterday. The difference in value can be shocking, and that's why collectors carefully inspect every detail: the shine, the edges, the smallest marks. Everything matters. Another interesting aspect of the 1996 nickel is its historical connection. While it may not seem like a long time ago, it represents a specific era in American coin production before major design changes came in the early 2000s. For many collectors, it's part of a larger story, completing sets, building collections, and preserving history. So next time you come across a 5-cent coin from 1996, don't just ignore it. Take a closer look. Check the mint mark. Examine the surface. Look for anything unusual, because what seems ordinary might actually be something special. And now the moment you've been waiting for. The value. A regular circulated 1996 nickel is typically worth around 5 to 10 cents in the market. A high-quality uncirculated coin can reach a value of a few dollars depending on its condition. However, top-grade examples graded at the highest levels can sell for several $100s. Error coins are where things get truly exciting. Depending on the type and severity of the error, some 1996 nickels have reached values of several hundred to even over $1,000 at auction. So yes, that small coin in your pocket might not just be spare change. It could be a hidden piece of treasure waiting to be discovered. Keep searching, keep collecting, and most importantly, never underestimate the value of the ordinary.